Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you a few of the Halloween crafts that I made this year. Even though it's almost time to take them all down and decorate for a new holiday, I still wanted to show them to you because I love how they turned out. They're so cute. Most of the supplies that I got for these crafts are from Dollar Tree, and I just love my supplies there. I'm always really excited and happy about what you can create from the random things that you find. So let's start with this one here. I saw something very similar to this on Cost Plus World Market, and for $2 you make this one instead. I don't know if they have any Halloween decorations or crafts left over, but if not, take note and make this next year. I got the haunted house wood cutouts from Dollar Tree, and I got 3 different designs. I think I'm only showing 2 here, and I got 2 of each. I'm just starting by cutting off the tag, and then I'm gonna fill in that little hole with some hot glue just so that it's more solid. And next I am just taking scrap pieces of wood. The ones that I'm using first here are just scraps from a paint stirring stick. I'm gluing those together with a hot glue gun. And I'm just lining those up, making sure they're both facing the same way because you want it to look the same looking through. And I kind of staggered it like this because I wanted different places to be able to put a candle, obviously a fake one, and it just made it a little more sturdy. So with this next one, I'm using big popsicle sticks, and they worked great. It definitely holds it together, but it is a little more flimsy. I did end up adding 2 more kind of in the middle like I did with the other haunted house. The haunted houses that inspired this craft looked glossy, so I got a black glossy spray paint to try to replicate that. It didn't really leave them looking glossy, but I do like the finish that it gave to them. I'm just spray painting the front, back, inside, the little wood pieces that we used to glue them together. Just making sure to give them a good coat of the black spray paint. And here you can see them finished up on my mantle, a little candle inside, and I just love how they turned out. This sign is my favorite craft from this year, from Halloween 2021. I found the sign at the end of the summer and thought I could turn them into like a Christmas tag or something. And then I thought I could cut these into a coffin. So I'm using those paint stir sticks I just got at Walmart. And I am just going to use this saw and this razor blade just to cut everything down. First I'm removing the string from the sign. Then I'm just drawing out that coffin, measuring everything to make sure it looks right. And I'm using this X-Acto knife or razor blade to cut that. The material of the sign is really easy to cut, so I'm just cutting it on both sides and then just bending that and it should break off. And I'm cutting away any extra pieces. Then I'm going to sand that just to make sure that it's all nice and even to glue on the frame. Now next I'm just going to measure out each side of the coffin onto the paint sticks and cut those down using my little handsaw. And then I'm just sanding down the edges, make sure that everything is nice and smooth and will fit together nicely. I'm using Waverly chalk paint in the color Plaster to paint the inside of the coffin. And I just did 1 coat. I set that aside to dry, and once that is dry, we're going to hot glue our frame onto the base of the coffin. So I'm just using hot glue and going along the side and hot gluing first stick down. I'm adding extra hot glue to the back just to make sure it's secure. You could also take popsicle sticks or something like that to give it a little more support, but I found that adding extra hot glue really did make it pretty stable and secure, and it felt sturdy. When I got to the bottom and the top, I did end up turning the sign upside down and only hot gluing on the back. So I would just lift the board up a little bit, apply some of the hot glue, and then glue it down. I just found that this was a little easier. So I'm just putting that hot glue down and then just pushing it all together and adding extra hot glue. This is a very simple frame, it's just really easy to do. I did leave some gaps on the side, so I just added some hot glue to each of the corners. That added a little more stability, and you can't tell once it's all painted. For the frame of the coffin, I'm using Waverly chalk paint in the color Ink. I'm just painting the inside and the outside very carefully. I thought about just leaving it the wood color, and then Gage recommended maybe to paint it black, and I really love how it turned out painted black. And there is our coffin all ready to go. I love this so much. These are one of my favorite things from Dollar Tree, these metal words that you can find for different holidays. This one says spooky. I am just adding a thick layer of hot glue to the back so that it kind of pokes off of the sign just a little bit. And I'm just going to glue that up in the corner. I also found these skeletons at Dollar Tree this year. They're so cute just on their own, but I thought that they would look really cute inside of the coffin. So I'm just placing them on the coffin to see where I want them to go and using hot glue to glue them down. And I always use Gorilla hot glue. I think that it works best. Okay, now I'm just using some cobwebs that I had left over. I believe these are from Dollar Tree and they will last you forever. I actually had these from last year and I'm just kind of pulling that and using a tiny bit of hot glue to glue it down into place. I just think that the cobwebs add so much to the sign. I really love how the sign looked, but I just felt like it needed a little something. This little floral arrangement just happened to be sitting next to me. This is also from Dollar Tree, and I thought the sticks inside would just add so much character and it looks a little like spooky and scary. So I just broke off pieces and hot glued them down with just tiny bits of hot glue. Just glued them into place, and I thought that I was filming. I wasn't, and so I don't have any footage of that, but that's all I did. And there it is up on my mantle. I love this. I just think it's the cutest. Okay, this next craft I almost didn't show because I feel like this is perfect and I kind of ruined this one. But I had to try this technique that I saw, I think, on Facebook. I did find this eek cutout at Dollar Tree. I'm also using a napkin that I found from Walmart and Mod Podge. I'm using a paintbrush to apply the Mod Podge and a lighter. What are we gonna do with the lighter? I don't know. Okay, so to start, I'm just sanding all the edges from the eek sign and removing the string from the back. When you're choosing a napkin, make sure that you choose one that you can pull apart. There are normally 2 or 3 different layers of a napkin, and you're going to want the thinnest layer. This one had 3, so I'm just pulling them apart so that we just have that thin layer. Okay. I'm just going to set that aside and cover my sign in Mod Podge. Okay, and then just place the napkin down and make sure to press firmly. Try to get any air bubbles out or any creasing out. And then I just had this little wood, I can't remember the name of this. What is it called? This little wood thing. I can't remember the name of it, but you guys know. Tell me in the comments because I made another craft out of this and I need to know what it is for that. It was just sitting there and I thought, I'm gonna make a cute little pumpkin out of that using the same napkin because I had extra. And so I'm just covering that with Mod Podge and doing the same thing, just laying that napkin over and pressing down firmly. Next, I'm just cutting out our pumpkin just in a little square, and I'm just cutting around the eek, pretty close to the edge, but you don't need to be super precise. Okay, you guys, this is the coolest, and you can do this with so many different crafts. You're just going to get your lighter and start the napkin on fire. It's really smart to have like a spray bottle or some water near you just in case, but I didn't have any problems with it burning too fast. It burns pretty slow. Just make sure you're turning it as it's burning so it doesn't burn your hand. Any cutouts or anything that you might have in your signs or your craft, you're just going to want to poke holes where you want it to burn and then just light that on fire. I just can't get over this. It's so cool. Okay, now we're doing the same thing with the eek sign. We're going to burn the edges first. It's like magic. Once the edges are all nice and clean, we're just going to poke a few holes and burn that napkin away there as well. I'm just taking this coarse paintbrush and just brushing away any of the ash. This is where I made my mistake and I almost didn't show this craft because I didn't like it. I wish I would have just left it. I think I would have liked it more, but I didn't. I ended up using the Waverly chalk paint in ink. I started with the exclamation mark and then I thought it needed something more. I still like it, but I just kind of wish that I wouldn't have. And now for our pumpkin that turned out perfectly, I'm just using some of those cobwebs and a stick that I had, and I'm taking some baker's twine and making a little bow, just wrapping that around my fingers and just securing it together in the middle with more of that baker's twine. And I'm gluing that all down. I'm seriously obsessed with this little pumpkin. I think it's adorable. So anyways, those are my crafts for this year. If you like seeing crafts on my channel, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.